going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Loud Bostonian. As you can see, I am not in the basement recording like I normally would. I am in my friend Berto's studio. Yeah, you might see him on his podcast, Sunday with Buds. And we're going to be doing a conjoined episode here where we're going to be talking about The Predator. We just got out of the filming of it, or not the filming of it. We just got out of the viewing of it.
No, we made the movie.
Yeah,
we filmed it.
You know, we might have been able to make it better.
I think I could have directed a pretty damn good The Predator.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
I probably wouldn't have cast anyone that they cast.
Hey, you know. But, finish your intro. We'll get
right
to that.
Anyways, so we just saw the movie. We came right back here to shoot this video. So I guess right off the bat, we should talk about how hyped we were for this movie going into it.
Yes.
So for me, I was excited when they announced this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shane Black
Yep.
alone doing this, I was like,
Yep.
I am on board 100% for this movie. Then the trailers came out, and I was like, I'm not so sure this is going to be good. And then all the rumors came out about the reshoots, and that's never really good.
Reshoots are kind of like death.
Oh.
Like, when I heard about, like, for example, World War Z, a book I love, and then I heard that they were in, like, reshoot hell for it, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the movie turned out to be a piece of shit, so there you go.
Yeah, it was nothing like the book. Well, you know what? The book's like totally written from like different stories, right?
If they had just done it like the book, it could have been dope.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, casting
So,
Brad Pitt is...
I was very hyped for The Predator. But then, yes, when I saw the trailers, heard the whole reshoot shit, I was like,
Yeah.
But then, we saw the most recent trailer.
Yeah.
Like, which was kind of dope. It had the rap music in the background. It was sort of grindhousey, where at the end they were just like, The Predator. Like, I thought that shit was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, maybe this will be good.
Yeah, you're spot on there. The last trailer was the only trailer they should have showed for this movie. They did reveal a lot. Now but that was good though because it got me hyped to go and see this movie. So even though I was gonna see it anyways. This is the thing.
Obviously.
Every movie that's out there that I want to see, even if I can tell it's gonna be a piece of crap, I'm gonna go and see it.
Of course, how can I not see it?
Yeah, right. As a huge Predator fan, there's no way
I
I
got
wasn't
to
gonna go.
know.
I mean, I saw Alien vs Predator Requiem when it came out, like in theaters, day it was released.
Dude, I have a very depressing story about how I saw that movie, but anyway, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that right now on my on my thing.
But so the Predator. So right off the bat, I want to say that the score was great. Bringing back the classic Predator score was fantastic.
Have that in my notes.
It really set the tone,
Like the music,
for how I thought this movie was going to be.
and they used it right. They placed it well.
Right.
Little moments, like sort of homages to the original. I could tell they remixed the and they changed the timing of it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was like
They modernized it a little bit.
it actually helped soothe the shitty parts for me. Anytime there was like a shitty part and they played that over it, I was like, that's okay.
It was, it's probably exactly what it was, because the nostalgia kicks in and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay because it's this score and the Predators on screen.
yeah.
The Shane Black humor was super present in this movie. It almost was I'd say like 50% of this movie was a comedy, just from the dialogue.
I have that written right here. Comedy/comic book.
Yeah.
It was, dude, at certain points, like, when you watch the Avengers, like, or any of the new MCU movies, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of humor in this. In fact, like, you watch Ragnarok or something like that, and you're like, it's almost relentless.
Yeah.
This was too relentless. Like,
You thought so?
well, I was cool with it. Like, once I realized that I was like,
This is what this movie
so this is
is.
what you're gonna do? All right, keep it up. But when they had, like, all right, so in the movie there's a group of soldiers, sort of like misfit soldiers.
The crazy ones.
The crazies, yeah, all the reject soldiers, and they're on the crazy bus, and they all break out and they save the day. But, dude, at a certain point, man, their quips at each other and their jokes are just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, like, some of the times, like,
Unrealistic dialogue. Nobody talks like that.
yeah, but the unrealistic dialogue for an equally unrealistic movie.
I know,
Perfect,
right?
Like,
it's like nitpicking that, but like really there's aliens.
so
and
that's
shit.
honestly kind of why I was like, once I realized that was what it was going to be, I switched my mind frame and I was like, all right, I'm on board, whatever, that's cool. And it was fun. It was
Yeah.
very fun. But
The F word. People hate the F word, don't you know? Like, people say, like, oh, this movie was fun. And people are like, fun? I want dark. I want
that's an
action."
excuse. You're just saying it's bad.
Right.
But, like, yeah. But hey, man, movies can be fun.
They totally can be fun.
Dude, you know how many times I'm like hungover in bed and I'll go and I'll look for like the shittiest 90s movies to put on?
Yeah.
Like I watched like Double Jeopardy the other day in bed. That's like a terrible movie, but I was like, whatever. It's like,
That is Van Damme at his best.
no, Double
I'm
Jeopardy.
thinking of Double Dragon.
Double-
No. Double, what's the one where he's a twin? He's got his twin. That's the Van Damme movie where he's the twin. It's Double Impact.
Double Impact.
Double Impact.
Double Jeopardy is Tommy Lee Jones and then what's her name? The other chick.
Oh my God. I want to say it's Gina Davis.
Well,
Is it Gina Davis?
It's not Gina Davis. It's I can't believe I'm looking up Double Jeopardy right now.
Well, dude, you just said you watched it.
Jeopardy. There we go. It's
Oh, it's what's her name? That's why can't I think of her name?
Ashley
Judd.
Anyway, what I'm saying is sometimes it's nice to watch a silly movie. You feel good.
God.
I didn't
Double
mean-
Jeopardy's real silly though.
It's very silly. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But in my head, I was just like, I just love that 90s feel.
Sure.
You know, like it's just the way it's shot, everything like that. And I don't know, but I guess this movie is not exactly that, but it is, you know.
Since it's coming from the Predator, you kind of get that 80s action, 90s action feel. So
Yeah,
it's what you're expecting.
So basically, what I will say is that it let me down in terms of being a good Predator movie.
Yeah.
It was not a good Predator movie.
Not at all.
Like,
So my problem with this movie is that, honestly, like, right off the bat, when they announced that they were doing this hybrid Predator thing, I was like, that's so stupid. Just have the classic Predator be what's hunting.
just get the Jungle Hunter back.
right.
The Yautja.
Yeah, man, Yautja. That's some deep lore right there,
Yeah,
folks.
just you got the Jungle Hunter, you got the City Hunter. Like,
Yeah.
dude, the Jungle Hunter is
Dude,
classic.
bring in the classic Crack Tooth. That's like the one from the comics that everybody loves.
the Crack Tooth.
Oh yeah, man, he's
is
a
that
man.
is that the old school one?
Yeah, he's literally just got a crack. Oh, is it cracked husk? It might be what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's just, yeah. So this movie, I feel like, and I don't know if it was his studio involvement. I can't tell if it was them like breathing down Shane Black's neck and they didn't let him make the movie he wanted to make or not, because that happens all the goddamn time. But there's a part in this movie where all of a sudden, like, I thought the movie was great, but then it just makes a shift. It makes a shift into this totally wacky story. And like, had they just had the one Predator and had the one, the classic coming and hunting down these people, and you could have even had that like the same mishap happen where like his shit gets stolen and he's trying to get it back from him. They kind of do that in AVP a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? You can honestly just like, this movie was so different from Aliens versus Predator that you could have just ran with that and it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Like, why not just keep the Jungle Hunter, the fucking little kid, and spoilers like crazy, by the way.
Absolutely. This is a total spoiler
Like,
review.
if you haven't seen the movie, like, we're literally talking as if everybody's seen it. So shut it off if you haven't seen it. But
Ultimately, no one's going to see this movie, so I feel like we really don't even... It doesn't matter if we spoil it.
the audience seemed to enjoy it, but yeah, this movie's probably gonna tank.
I can't believe the audience enjoyed this movie.
There were
claps and like yells and like laughs. I mean, it was funny, but like, holy
But you know
crap.
what? I will say the audience did clap at the right time because the kid being bullied blew up a bully.
Yeah.
And that is a moment to clap for. So when that happened, I was like, and that's my other thing that I wanted to talk about is that for a moment, this movie was Stranger Predators.
Yeah.
It was
really
like Halloween / Stranger Things / Predators.
Absolutely.
For a moment, I was like, I got the warm and fuzzies. I was like, I like this. It's like a kid
It's ticking all the boxes.
trick or treating.
Yeah. It's ticking all the boxes.
It's a little
you wanna-
campy, like old school horror movie. Like, I like that. But it could have just been the Jungle Hunter going, "Where's my gauntlet? Where's my helmet?"
Right.
And then he finds the kid and he goes, "Oh, I forgot. I don't hurt unarmed people." And then he takes it and the kid gives it to him, and then he fucking goes and kicks ass. And then when he's about to kill his dad, the kid steps in and the Predator goes, "Oh, that's your dad? I'm friends with your son."
Yeah. That would have been
That
sweet,
could have
man.
been the movie right there.
Now you're talking. Now that's 90s right there.
All right? Yeah.
That's totally 90s.
It's like E.T. meets Predator.
Right. Right.
Fucking, we could have wrote a better movie.
Yeah, dude. And then like 10, 15 years down the line, Steven Spielberg could take this back and take all the guns out and replace them with cameras and flashlights.
Replace them with walkie-talkies, and everyone's like, "What's a walkie-talkie?" And he's like, "Fuck, I should have done smartphones. Fuck."
Yeah. I'll tell you what. We're going to get to a point in Steven Spielberg's career where he's going to be like, you know what, I'll just do a Predator movie. I got nothing else. Nobody's hiring me anymore.
I bet he'd do a great Predator movie. I trust Spielberg.
I don't know. Ready Player One was probably the worst piece of shit
I
adaptation
still have not
I've
watched
ever seen.
it.
Oh,
I haven't watched it.
don't even do it.
Wait, you
Did
were pretty
read the
pumped
book?
for that, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I love the book.
Oh, see, I didn't read the book either.
Well, I didn't read the book either. See, I do this thing called Audible, and like I can't say that I read anything because really I listen to other people read them to me.
You read the book. Nowadays, that counts, okay? You
good.
read the fucking book.
Yeah. I'm gonna pitch.
What do
this
you?
to-
I listened to the book. No, you read the fucking book.
I listened to what's his face, the kid from Stand By Me, read it to me. Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton read it to me. Yeah, he did a good job too. But yeah, that movie sucked. But let's get back to Predator.
Yeah.
So the Predator. Yeah, so that shift happens where all of a sudden the movie goes from like classic Predator to like, how can we make this movie bigger and better? I know, let's do a big Predator that doesn't need a mask and he doesn't wear armor or anything cool.
Yeah, let's do the Shack of Predators.
Oh yeah, it was horrible, man. Like, how do they not, like, there's been so many movies over the years where they've literally done, let's do this big thing, and that's going to be the
Bigger
reveal.
and better.
And then it's never been good. Never. It's never been good. Like, they tried to do that shit in the last Terminator movie they remade, where they looked the big Arnold going up against the original Arnold. Or, no, that might have been actually the one with fucking,
No, you're talking about...
the one with Batman.
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that on the long line of bad Terminators, I don't mind Salvation.
Really?
It was better than Terminator 3.
Yeah, Terminator 3 was pretty terrible.
Terminator 3 sucked ass. Terminator Salvation, at least, I appreciated
because they did their own story.
It had their own story, and guess what? It had very strong things going for it. Little bummed out that John Connor was Batman, and he was all angry, and he had no attitude, because John Connor's supposed to have fucking attitude, you know? Remember fucking Edward Furlong? Like, dude, he was great. But, you know who shined through was the late, great Anton Yelchin as Kyle Reese. He was perfect as Kyle Reese.
He was a good young Kyle Reese.
He might have been one of the greatest actors. He was 27. He's exactly our age, I think. And he was 27 when he died. Would have been one of the best of our generation.
It's weird to think about it, too, because he was also crushed to death by a machine in
By a
real
machine,
life.
By that horrible Jeep machine. Not to make light of Anton Yelchin's death, but...
I mean, I don't know where he lived, but I mean, I mean, maybe he was pinned so he couldn't scream. But I would think if I got pinned by my car, I would be screaming for all my neighbors for like as loud as I could.
They said he got suffocated to death.
Oh.
Like it pinned him in the chest, and he...
Oh, okay.
and he died a long, slow death. On Father's Day, by the way.
You know what's funny is he's had like 3 or 4 movies come out since then.
Really?
Yeah, he's had at least, I'm going to say 3 or 4. He's had at least 2 movies come out since his death. And I'm like,
Did
man.
Green Room come out after he died? I think Green Room might have come out. Did you watch Green Room?
I haven't watched Green Room. It's
You gotta
actually,
watch that. It's
yeah,
fucking great.
So who's the director of that movie? He's got like all these what's it called, titles. They're all like Green Room and then like blue.
Oh, colored theme titles.
Yeah, like
really?
this blue something else. I can't think of the name of that one. And then he's got, I think that same director's got that goofy ass movie coming out soon with the pizza shop that's the gateway to hell.
No way, really? That's
Yeah,
him?
I think it's the same
Wow.
guy. If I'm mixing this up, the internet can rip me apart for it. But I'm telling you that
I won't look it up because that's just going to get us sidetracked. We got to keep talking about
I know
Predator.
it's so hard.
It's hard. Yeah, but that's the whole point of having a podcast is that you talk about other shit too.
That's true.
You know?
True. Going off topic.
But I think your audience kind of sees where we're going with this. Is that, dude, it was not good.
Yeah, if we can get this sidetracked immediately, you can tell that this movie didn't have a lot going for it. I'll tell you what it did have going for it. It did the Predator violence was
Awesome.
like amazing.
Awesome.
It might have been the best in the series, except for the first movie, which I love the first movie's action so much that
You can't even compare it because it was a different time period.
yeah.
The violence in the first movie is so grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just explosions and sparks and real blood dripping everywhere, but done so artfully that you don't even realize it's corny. And the characters and the first one is such a fucking masterpiece
It's
that
the
you
best.
can't even compare it.
It
Like,
is. It's so good.
It's so good, and we're gonna do my podcast after this, and I think we'll get deeper into the first movie.
Absolutely.
You know, and like I'm already,
That's when we're going to be talking about good Predator stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, there really is only one good Predator, like good to the bone Predator movie.
I would argue that Predator 2 is not near, obviously nowhere near as good as the
No,
first one.
it's got its
but when you
charm.
compare him to the list of other Predator movies, Predator 2 is a goddamn Academy Award winner.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird fucking movie because they're trying to predict what 1997 will be like.
Yeah.
And all the guns, like, they're like, okay, so we're going to take all the guns we have right now and let's put scopes on them.
Yes.
And some weird attachments.
Yes.
Future.
Because you'd be looking down your little handgun barrel with a scope.
And sure
rather
enough,
than just firing from the hip
sure
at bad
enough,
guys.
not only is it not 1997 anymore, it's 20 years after 1997.
And handguns still don't
and
have
we're
scopes.
still using the same guns that we used in 1987.
Yeah.
The same ones.
I love that the cars in 1997 are still like 1980s pieces of shit. Like Danny Glover's Nova.
You could have at least pulled a fucking Total Recall with it. You know, remember how Total Recall made the cars? Like
Yeah.
they looked a little battery powered, you know?
Yeah.
And they had mannequins driving them.
Yep. Yeah, it's the best part of Total Recall right there.
Where he's like, ah.
Yeah. And Total Recall is just like Predator because the remake was so terrible that this remake of Predator was
Oh
also
my
terrible.
God. So terrible that I just forgot there was a remake of Total Recall with
Oh, yeah.
fucking Colin Farrell.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything
Oh,
good.
and Cranston was in that too.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah,
Wow.
that guy's had a spotty career after Breaking Bad.
I just started watching Sneaky Pete.
Is he in that?
Yeah, he's the main villain in Sneaky Pete because he also helped create that show too.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking
Yeah,
good.
people say it's good.
I've been avoiding it. I've been like, fucking Amazon Prime show.
can't-
What do they hold to Netflix and HBO?
The
Sure.
main character's name, what's his real name in real life? It's like
Giovanni Ribisi.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah.
That guy's like so 50-50 with me. I've seen movies that I love him in, and some movies I'm just
Oh,
like,
like
ooh.
Boiler Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Affleck.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
they
just-
say money can't buy
Or when
happiness.
he's-
Look at the
dude.
fucking smile on my face.
when he's the younger brother and Gone in 60 Seconds, like it's just like,
my God, yeah, he was.
He's like literally that guy's like 50-50 because then sometimes I see him and I love him.
He's good. He's
Yeah.
a good actor. But yeah, he's you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what they could have used him in. The Predator.
Predator. Giovanni. Anyway, did
Yeah.
we already talk about how good the intro was in The Predator?
So the intro was the best part of the movie.
Fucking awesome.
It was the best part of the movie.
And they like, dude, he's in there. He's a sniper. They're showing how the main character is like sort of a badass. They're setting him up, and then like the ship lands, and then like fucking one of his soldiers is hanging from a tree with a fire, and it looks like It looks like the climax of the first Predator.
Right.
When he shoots the arrow and there's fire and they're fighting with that fire in the background, it looks like that.
I only have one problem with that scene. One problem. And that problem is that why are these shady fucking people like meeting at this one lamppost in the middle of the woods?
Well, I have to imagine that they're using all the great American United States technology to track these motherfucking Mexicans.
Yeah.
Or wherever they were, Bolivians. Where were they?
I don't know.
They were in Mexico, I'm pretty sure.
He was definitely in Mexico.
He was in Mexico, so it's sort of like, what's ironic is that main character is the star of Narcos.
Yeah.
And he is doing that shit in Narcos.
I wonder if they wrote that one scene like, who are we going to cast? How about the guy from Narcos?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, they're basically what they're doing is they're trying to rescue American hostages from some cartel guys or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So I guess they're tracking their phones. I mean, dude, we can track
come on,
anything.
man. If you're a shady villain type guy, you're like, let's meet at that one really like off the beaten path light post. Like that's like setting you up for like a sniper to be like, all right, this fucking dude is so easy to spot. He's literally under a spotlight.
In my mind, it's the middle of the jungle, but it is like, it's their meeting spot. But honestly,
How's the light powered?
was it a light post?
It was a light post. It took me out of the scene. That's the only reason I even
Really?
remember it is because I was like, what the fuck is these people meeting in this light post for?
This is our execution spot, Holmes.
Yeah.
You know what though? But if you're gonna compare that against the rest of the movie,
Yeah, I know.
you're really nitpicking.
The problem was I nitpicked it right in the beginning when I was watching it, and I didn't realize what I was in for the rest of the movie.
If
so
the movie had not gotten so ridiculous, I wouldn't even be talking about that light post.
I know.
I wouldn't even have remembered it.
I wouldn't have either.
You know what I
but
mean?
It just stuck with me because it was so early in the movie. I'm like, what is
Now we're trying to pick out everything, but it's like, dude,
How about the fact that he literally like sees the ship coming down, still decides to shoot?
I like that.
To
I like
shoot
that.
one of the guys.
I like that.
I
Part
liked
a lot.
it too
because he looks up and he goes, "What?" All right, so basically he's got American hostages in his sights.
Yeah.
and there's cartel guys about to execute them.
Yes.
kind of like in the original. And he's a sniper, and he's got them in his sights. And then all of a sudden, the Predator ship comes out of the atmosphere and starts smashing shit. And he looks up, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" But his soldier training, he goes,
He kicks in.
"Never mind that. Never mind the
I gotta
aliens."
get at least one of these
and
fuckers.
he goes, "Fuck it." bang, and he shoots the one that looked like Ron Jeremy.
And then rolls out of the way
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
ship
yeah.
down this massive hill. Very, very similar to the Arnold roll in the first movie.
Yeah,
which I like.
and then the jungle is on fire. And then, yeah, you know what? That shit roped me in.
I don't mean
like
to.
that.
All right, hold on. I don't mean to nitpick and get off topic again. But the Arnold roll in the slide off the cliff in Predator. Do you ever notice the logistics of like where the rocks are that he could be hitting versus the water?
Did you ever notice how it turns into a completely different cliff in
Yeah.
the original movie?
Yes, it does.
It looks like, oh, okay, that's reasonable. And then it cuts to the wide, and it's like, oh, that's not reasonable at all.
Not at all.
And he's going like,
Whoa.
it looks like stock footage.
Yeah.
But that's for the next podcast.
We'll bring that back up.
This whole thing is so flawed. How long have we been going for?
I don't
anyway?
know. It's got to be like at least 10 minutes.
I
but-
can actually check. Hold on. Ow. I stepped on my own thing.
But from here, we need to get into the. How are we going for?
We have been going for 22 minutes.
All right, this is a long one. That's all right though. We'll keep going with it.
Who gives a fuck?
But the so here the. Let's get into the.
Yeah,
group.
you take over.
Let's get into
Take
the
over.
group. Let's get into the actual group of main characters. These PTSD crazy
right.
people that he gets lumped in with after the government picks him up for
Okay.
surviving the Predator encounter.
Okay.
So he gets picked up by Sterling K. Brown's character.
Right.
What was his name? Traeger? I think it was Traeger.
I mean, you know what? I can actually
Don't even pull it up. I know it was Traeger.
Traeger,
That's
okay.
how steel trap right there for that guy. Yeah.
Okay, Traeger.
So he gets picked up by this government group that's trying to vet him to see if he actually saw the alien or any of the stuff, which he did. He did, and he stole the alien shit and decided to ship it home to his son, which is what you'd always do with stolen alien.
I like
gear.
that. I like that because he knew that if he turned it into the government, they would fuck with it. So what he does
And
is
kill him, probably.
This
I think.
soldier, he finds the Predator's gear and he ships it back to his own home.
Yeah.
Where his wife and child are.
Yeah.
Presumably estranged. I don't think they're together anymore.
Yeah. The wife was the lady from. My wife has me watching that the Handmaid's Tale show.
Oh, yeah. I heard
She's
that
in-
show's good.
She's in that. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I didn't want to watch it because I was like, what is this?
I haven't
goofy-ass
watched
shit?
it yet, but I heard it's pretty fucked up.
It is pretty fucked up. My wife doesn't like
Especially
stuff like
from
that
a
normally.
woman's
I know.
perspective.
Totally. So it's surprisingly good. But the that woman's in that show. But anyways, so yeah, he gets picked up. They vet him. They want to send him off with a bunch of other loonies from the army rejects, basically, and that's where you meet the main cast of characters. What'd you
Yeah.
think of them?
You know what's funny is that during that part of the movie, they were all right. So during that part of the movie where they introduced that part, they kept cutting away to other shit,
Yeah.
and the shit that they kept cutting away from, I thought was funnier than the stuff in the bus with those guys.
Yeah.
You got fucking what's his name?
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, funny, but it's all just so intense that I couldn't keep up. With the funny. Maybe on my second viewing, but yeah, dude, they're goofy as fuck. It was cool.
Yeah, you kind of feel like Shane Black was like, I have a classic style of dialogue and humor
Yeah.
that I want to throw in there, so this is my perfect scene to try and have it ripping.
So you got Tom Jane as this Baxley guy. He's a military veteran. He's got fucking Tourette's. And they make some great jokes. He says like, fuck your cunt, and they
He's
make
not
jokes.
even too over the top with it either.
No,
they
and
could
then
have really
magically at the climax of the movie, he gets rid of his Tourette's and goes, "I'm back." But anyway, he did do that.
Yeah, he did.
And then
Dude, when aliens today, you don't have time for fucking like stuttering and random talk.
Oh no! He goes. Keegan goes. Oh, so you're back? And he goes, "I never left."
I know.
Like that.
Love that. So campy. And if that whole movie was that campy, it would have been so much better. But the
And then you got you got Theon Greyjoy. I don't even need to say his real name. We all know who Theon Greyjoy is.
Yep.
Playing a Marine. So basically, it's like 4 Army guys and 3 Marines, and you got sort of a Native American looking fellow, or actually he's sort of Mexican. He believes in Jesus.
he's supposed to be the Billy stand-in in
yeah,
this
you're
movie.
right. Fuck, you're right.
Except he's not cool at all.
Yeah, Billy was. Oh, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
I
There's
just
something out there, Dutch, and it ain't no man.
ain't no man.
We gotta save this for the next video. We can get off track. But this movie, this group was I surprisingly liked them more than I thought I would. The trailers had me believing that
Dude,
this
they
group,
were all very endearing.
Oh yeah, and this like honestly
And as much as I want to fuck Olivia Munn, you're right. She sucks.
she's horrible. Horrible.
I will say this though, I like the team effort at the end. So Olivia Munn, Boyd Holbrook, the main character. All right. So you know what? Fuck the main cast. We've tried to, like, the audience, if they haven't seen the movie, they won't get it. Here's what we should talk about. There's a little kid in this movie.
Yeah.
Who's pretty fucking dope.
He was good.
He's kind of the linchpin of the whole movie.
He really is.
And we've managed to just stumble over him because we're like, who's cool?
Yeah.
I
would forgive this movie more if they decided to have the little kid the whole time just killing the predators.
Yes, with his mind. Like,
yeah, he's
like fucking like 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like there was a huge Stranger Things like aspect to this movie because
he's got Asperger's.
He's got Asperger's.
Yeah.
It's the main character's son, and he is apparently intrinsically gifted with languages.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can look at a chessboard and go, that's going this way. That's right. He's like little baby Rain Man, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, it's like...
Except, like, he's not afraid of hot water burning the baby.
Yeah,
he just wants to kill some aliens.
Yeah, if the Predator drops some toothpicks, he'd be on that shit. You know what I mean?
391.
Yeah.
But
And the Predator would be like, what the hell are you? And
dude, that's what this whole movie should have been. It should have been the Predator.
Rain Man?
It should have been the Predator picking up this kid to go to Vegas and try to, like, count cards.
I'm your brother.
Which isn't too far off, because this movie's plot is that the Predators are now infusing themselves with human DNA.
I don't even want to think about the plot. Just watch the movie.
It's horrible.
All I know is that there's a really cool kid, and I think that he's great in the movie. And he knows how to use all their devices. Like he'll like tap the fucking thing, and the LCD shit will pop up, and he'll know how to like use it and stuff.
Yep.
Creepy looking. Check. He kills a bully with the Predator's helmet.
That
which
was
is fucking
the most
awesome.
surprising part of this whole movie.
This little kid's a murderer, and then the other bullies come up to him, and he holds up the Predator helmet and scares them away with it, which is pretty badass also.
So he uses the tech. His mother's buying him all these lame-ass Halloween costumes. So then he's got the tech from his dad that he picked up. He's like, you know what, screw this, dude. I'm duct taping this goddamn Predator mask.
He literally duct tapes the Predator's mask.
And he's got the gauntlet.
Shane Black had that right. That was really cool.
Yeah, because that shit you haven't seen.
My
only thought though is like right away, and I even said it to Andy when we were in the movie. I was like, he put that fucking mask on. You actually went to the bathroom in the scene, but you see him putting the mask on.
I hated the fact that I had to piss so bad.
So he put the mask on, and I went to Andy and I was like, I bet that fucking smells.
I know. It smells like yowcha.
Yeah, you don't want that shit. Like I would be like, I mean, the kid doesn't know, but any of the other people who like picked up those masks after you see it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not putting that fucking thing on. Like I'll look through it from like a distance. But
those fucking teeth.
Yeah. So what did you think of the hybrid Predator?
There were cool things, there were shitty things, but honestly, like nothing stood out as being.
There were things he did, weapons he had that in the trailer I thought the regular Predator had, and I couldn't wait to see it because
like
I
that spear that goes through the
yeah,
guy,
dude, the harpoon,
the harpoon.
Yeah, that thing was dope.
I thought that was a regular Predator.
So did I, and honestly, the whole time I watched that, the trailers and everything, I was like, man, like I know that this little Predator is probably gonna die in this movie. But like I'm hoping that like he like uses all this tech because I hated that fucking thing from the trailer. So I knew that in this movie I wasn't gonna like anything it did.
I thought they were gonna do some cool shit with it, but I guess not. Also, we haven't even talked about the dog.
The Predator dogs or the regular dog?
The Predator dog.
Okay.
Why did the Predator dog all of a sudden become friends with the humans?
Well, they said that guy, the character Nebraska, shoots it in the head from close range.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
fucks them all up. Right? In the brain.
Yeah. So they said that he
becomes retarded.
They said that you lobotomized it.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it was a line.
That makes sense.
That was Theon Grey. That was the only line Theon Greyjoy said.
He fucking lobotomized it.
Yeah, that contributed to the plot.
Yeah.
But so there's these Predator dogs, and they kill one of them pretty bad, and then the other one just gets lobotomized and decides to follow Olivia Munn around. But
so let me ask you something. On your normal, because I've watched like one or two of your things. Like I haven't watched them all.
Sure.
Do you usually just go through the whole movie?
I hit the best parts and the worst parts. That's what I really try to do. This movie's pretty much all bad parts.
Is this one way more unorganized?
Absolutely, but it's always more unorganized when you have like banter back and forth.
But is it okay?
I love it.
The fact that we talked about Double Jeopardy with Ashley Judd.
Yeah, and not Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We could just talk about that.
No. So back when we did when I used to do this with my buddy Dave, a lot of it is just running off in whatever direction the conversation takes you, and that's totally fine as long as we bring it back to the topic at hand. My viewers, the few that I have, don't give a. I'm pretty sure they don't give a shit.
Yeah, but if they're anything like us, they're gonna laugh their asses off, and they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did he just say Double Impact?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they talking about Double Impact right now?
Yeah. I bet some of them are at home like, dude, are you talking about that amazing Morgan Freeman movie, Deep Impact?
Deep Impact, when
Yeah.
he was the president?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out and just got totally steamrolled by Armageddon.
Dude. Rich and I had a whole conversation about Dante's Peak versus
Yeah.
Volcano, because they came out in the same year. Also with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
And
Pierce Brosnan.
Dante's Peak had
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Greatest scene ever. The dog survives the entire wilderness with lava everywhere to sit on the one rock they drive past so it can leap to safety as the lava comes over.
Fuck yes.
That's right.
And the grandma. Ah!
Oh, yeah.
And the acid water.
Saving the...
Podcast for another day.
Dude, I'll fucking do that.
Dante's
fuck
Peak
that.
and Volcano
No,
podcast?
you know what you need to do? We need to go back and literally do a commentary on these movies.
Yes.
Like sync them up.
Dude, why not? Just throw it on the screen and we just
Yeah.
throw the mics on.
Absolutely.
Like once a month.
Because
you
those
know?
old movies a lot of them don't have the commentary track.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted that
No,
shit back
yeah.
then.
That's the way Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier did Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And then when they re-released Roadhouse, they put
Their commentary on, yeah.
on the DVD.
Yeah, so Kevin Smith's, his podcast, we're running off tangent again, but I don't give a fuck. So he had a guest on, this Australian guy, on his Fat Man on Batman podcast that he does. And it's actually changed the name to Fat Man Beyond now because he's no longer fat and he's
fucking
afraid that Warner Brothers is eventually going to sue him. But anyways, he has this Australian guy on, and the Australian guy's talking about how he did a commentary with the director of Clue.
Oh my god.
And he's like,
Clue.
he's like, because nobody has ever done the guy never did a commentary on it. He's like, he went everywhere trying to find if there was anything on it, and there was nothing. So he literally reached out to the director of that movie and was like, come and I want to do the commentary. He's like, I will pay for you to fly out here, all this stuff. And like, I haven't listened to it, but I want to sync it up Wikipedia because I love Clue. I don't know why.
You like that movie?
Love it. I have a sentimental attachment to it though.
I watched it once back in the day, and I don't remember shit about
Oh
it.
my god, it's fantastic.
Really?
Dude, you got comedy greats in that. You got Martin Mull, you got Tim Curry,
Tim Curry, okay.
you got the guy from
Diamonds, Mr. Homolka.
You got what's his face, whose name I cannot think of, the guy who was in Laverne and Shirley and the Brady Bunch movies and Airheads.
Oh.
Michael something or other. I want to say Michael Richards, but that's Kramer, so it's not that. I can't think of him.
He's a yocha.
Back to Predator.
Hey,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, that's soon. Yeah, that's
Und my gun.
Anyways, all right. So, what did you? Final thought.
Closing thoughts?
Let's get into closing thoughts and let's wrap
All
this up. So, what did you think of the?
Would I recommend? Oh, no, continue.
What did you think of? This is the final thoughts before we get to that. But what did you think of the actual finale with the giant predator and the final run in with all the characters?
It's fucking dog shit.
Horrible.
It's fucking dog shit. Like what?
It was horrible.
It's a CGI bullshit. Fucking. Go watch the movie. You'll see what we're talking about. But they're bunch of dudes hanging on a ship as it takes off, and then this guy falls. They all grab each other's hands, and then a force field comes over the ship, and some of them get trapped under it, and it's like there's nothing real.
Yeah.
Like remember in the original Predator, it's literally the finale is the Predator beating the shit out of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Blood flying out of his mouth. Him going, "Oh, I'm fucked right now."
Yeah.
None of that.
And I get that in the original, like, it makes sense that, like, the Predator isn't expecting him to come at him with fucking, like, booby traps made out of, like, wood. The
Predator
and stuff
was
like
fucking hoping for that shit.
Yeah.
Predator had a boner for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, the minute he realized, he was oh, we got this big-ass Austrian coming at me. Like, dude, but we can't even compare that. It's like...
It's hard to get that again, though, because you can't... At this point, you got to figure it's 30 years later. The fucking Predators have time to evolve too. They're not gonna.
Sure.
They're not gonna be coming at. They're not gonna be. You're not gonna get them with a log. You know.
What I'm basically saying is that I wish that movies hadn't evolved
Yeah,
in
me
the
too.
last 30
That's
years.
true.
That's all I'm saying.
But anyways, so it wraps up, and they have that stupid post-credit scene where the.
Dude, we didn't stay.
Not the post-credit scene. I'm sorry. The final scene of the movie where the big predator's dead, the humans survive.
Oh, I totally forgot
Olivia
about
Munn,
this.
and then all of a sudden the one predator had left a gift behind for humanity, and it's called the Predator Killer. And I got to tell you, when that pod was sitting there, my hopes,
I thought it was going to be a xenomorph.
I thought it was going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, well, yeah, like Andy was saying, it
Popping
might have-
out of it.
Yeah, Dutch shit.
I would even have taken Danny Glover popping out of it.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Imagine if it was Danny DeVito.
Imagine. He was like, "Oh, there's these fucking predators everywhere. I don't even know what's happening."
He's just gurgling, drinking wine from a can.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. Na, 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 na.
You know what? Danny Glover would have been cool too. Oh my god. Oh,
Get too over this shit.
over this shit.
But no, it's not that. It's actually just a stupid shredder armor that jumps on a human, and now they
Yeah,
can.
it looks like Master Shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like, and it's the Stark tech from.
I was about to
Avengers
say,
Infinity
yeah,
War.
it just jumps on you.
Nanotech.
Yeah, nanotech.
I mean, it looked cool. I mean, honestly,
it's a housing for nanotech.
to be honest, if that thing was the main villain in this movie, it would have been better than that giant predator.
It looked pretty dope.
Yeah.
It looked like Iron Predator.
Yeah.
The Iron Predator.
That's what they're calling it actually online, I guess. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I googled it when I was waiting out everything. The Iron Predator.
Hey, man, you know, I can write for Hollywood
All
now.
right, so here, on a scale of Predator 1 to the original design of the Predator from Predator 1, where do you
We're
rank
talking
this
about
movie?
Predator purity, 1 to 10.
Yeah.
In terms of like how good was
How
this
good?
movie?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what's funny is that the first movie really is the only barometer we have.
Yeah.
And like you said, the second one.
Well, here, you know what? Honestly, though, but you've seen them all. So rank.
them all.
Where do you rank this one amongst the other ones? Obviously, Predator 1, Predator 2. I'm assuming that's your order, right?
It's the fourth best.
Fourth best. So you think AVP is better than this?
Oh, I'm sorry, third best. It literally goes Predator 1, Predator 2, Predators by Robert Rodriguez, and then this movie.
Okay.
That's where it goes for me. But this
I think
movie,
that's my order on this
But
too.
this thing, the problem with the Predator movies is they're plagued by this weird thing where they can't seem to get out of this weird cinematography where this movie was shot like a show. It was shot like a television show. It didn't have a cinematic quality to it.
It didn't.
When you watch the first Predator, there are artful, beautiful shots in it. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
they even hold up too. The first Predator.
The first Predator
is one of the
holds
most-
up as a film.
Yeah.
The second one has that kind of cinematography, but it's so ridiculous that I don't even like to think about it sometimes. Bill Paxton's in it, so I guess that's great. But
You can't really hate anything with Bill Paxton.
but the first movie just has this. It's artistic, dude. The first movie, the second half of it, it's like a silent film. Mm-hmm. Like there's no dialogue in the last hour of that movie. This movie is a cartoon / comic book.
Yeah.
And it's shot like Aliens versus Predator, but at least it's not Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah.
Predators by Robert Rodriguez is better than this movie.
Yeah. Well, because that literally was like, we're taking the original concept of just hunting people down and just doing it in a little different way, throwing them on a different planet and stuff. This one is like, we know what people like, and we're going to give you some of it, and then the rest of it we're going to try to like make, like you said, a comic book movie, which is probably what they're going for based on the fact on how popular comic book movies are.
Sure.
And they're trying to keep this trend going with these. They were trying to build a brand new franchise, and it really fell on its face.
But in conclusion, for me, if you love the Predator, dude, fucking see this movie.
Definitely.
Definitely see this movie. Even for all the ridiculous bullshit in it, there's a lot of awesome, cool stuff where you go, fuck, I always wanted to see the Predator do that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to see the Predator do that. So
Yep.
it's worth that.
Yep.
And you know what? We just saw it an hour ago. We haven't even watched it a second time. You know what I mean? Like,
Which I probably won't do until it's free.
oh, I'm going to illegally download this bitch.
There you go.
Chop that part out.
No, keep it in. Keep it in. That's one of my new segments on one of my new things. It's rent buy.
Illegally download.
No, it's my new thing is it's rent buy or steal.
Oh,
That's-
rent buy or steal?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the. So I tell people whether or not it's rent buy or steal. This is a steal.
This is steal. Yeah, it's definitely a steal.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with your assessment. I believe it is the fourth best Predator movie.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then it's got its moments. It's definitely got its moments that are good. And if you are a Predator fan, you will probably enjoy this movie. It
Hell
seems,
yeah.
Seems like most of the audience had a good time.
Oh, yeah, great time.
But like
including us.
Yeah, we had a great time. But I was just expecting a little bit more from Shane Black, and I
love you, Shane Black.
yeah, I love you too, man. But this is just this is not one of your best ones. No, that's definitely
Fuck you, Shane Black.
yeah. You
Just,
need to go.
just kidding.
Just do The Nice Guys 2, and then do
I love the nice guys.
yeah, and like come out that sequel to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. We all know that we know Val Kilmer's hurting for work. So,
Yeah.
but all right, well that's it for this show. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to check out Roberto's podcast, Sunday with Buds, coming at you with a new video right after this.
If we have the energy for it.
That's true.
Fucking like this shit. I'm gonna fuck you up. It's Kevin Duffy.
I'll probably